As potential customers are facing so many software or service alternatives these days, they tend to make the easiest choice or delay making one at all. Saturation in the market is a key issue that SaaS businesses are facing today. I'm Devin Herz, and welcome to this week's DMC Marketing Nugget. Here with us to discuss the common mistakes that SaaS or software as service companies are making when competing in saturated markets, bringing with her a different and unconventional marketing approach to life and business. Welcome the Director of Marketing at 10Web, Araks Nalbandyan. Welcome, Araks.
Hey, Devin. Thanks for having me today. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, it's great to have you here as well and to share your knowledge. I appreciate you spending the time with us. Give us a little bit of your background and how you got into this side of the marketing world.
Sure. I've been in marketing for a while now, for like 8-9 years. I've started with social media marketing, SEO, and I was mainly working in the agencies and with different e-commerce companies. And then I decided that I wanted to move to a product company and to work on a SaaS product. And that's how I became the director of marketing at 10Web and started working on the product that I actually love.
Great. Well, that's wonderful to hear. And I think so many of us got started in something, whether it be printing or digital marketing, and then evolved because marketing is always evolving. So when a SaaS company is doing data research on their specific niche, why is efficiency in that research more important now than ever?
Because everything we do now is must be based on data, otherwise it won't be accurate. And usually I've noticed that a lot of companies and a lot of marketers do not pay enough attention or the right attention to data. That's why it's one of the most important things to understand what data, what range of data you need to take a look at, what time, what in the flow of the data you need to pay attention at, and collect the right data for your campaign.
Yeah, it's very easy to overlook or push the data and analytics to the side, especially if you're a creative person. I know that's very hard. So I think spending some time or even time blocking, or at least a couple of points of the month to look over the analytics of what's going on with everything that you've got in front of you and all the different reports that you can run. So I think that's so important to make sure that you're paying attention to data, which really leads to the next important step, and that is to understand who your real customer is. I think people just want to try to get more business and they try to do all these different things, but understanding who that perfect client is. So explain some of the details there when you talk about that understanding your real customer.
Sure. When you try to research for your customer, you need to pay close attention to who they are and what they are doing, how they are talking, what they are interested in. If you're just starting, you can start creating a map of your ideal customer and then finding people on different social media accounts and try to talk to them and see if you're if this is if your theory is right. But if you already have customers, you can prove it with them. You can prove your map with them and understand if your understanding of who your customer is really matching your current customer picture. And you need to pay attention, especially a lot of things that I noticed that a lot of people, a lot of marketers miss, is understanding what words they're using, how they're talking, not just understanding their pain points, but also understanding how they're expressing their pain points. So you can have better content there to reach them.
Right. Yeah. Understanding what your clients are going through and how your solutions can help them, I think, is definitely a big point of something that you always want to bring to the forefront. I know with direct marketing, that's a big thing. We all, tend to talk about our services and solutions, and it's the same list that your competitors have. So sharing ways that you're able to actually solve their problems, tell stories, have those case studies, I think is so important. And then really dialing in those details about the real customer. So I appreciate you sharing that with us, because sometimes we just forget to really sit back, analyze the data that we just talked about and who those clients actually are that you want to target. So as an entrepreneur myself, and really when an entrepreneur identifies a need in that market and builds a solution that customers want to buy, that's what we call product market fit. So how does SaaS company determine what theirs may be?
Well, there are different ways of identifying your product market fit. If you already have like some customer base, the best way is just to ask them how they would feel if your product just went out of the market, and see what they answer, if they will be devastated or if it will be okay for them, and then you'll understand if you have found your perfect product market fit. The other way is just to see in the market, like if there is a gap in the market, and if there is a gap in the market that you can feel, whether that gap there has a need, or you're just creating like a product that, yeah, there's no other product like that in the market, but nobody needs it. You need to understand that well.
Right. So if you have something that people are actively looking and there's not a lot of competition, that means there may be a good business model there, and understanding what the void is. And so many people have had a shift over the last 2 years because of everything that's going on. So I think that's a good thing, where I've seen some people that and businesses that have taken the time to figure out, with everyone being at home, what do people need now? So all of a sudden we're starting to see new, better and improved webcams, better audio equipment, new software that helps people at home. So understanding that need is super important, and just a great nugget for people to analyze. Where do I fit in the marketplace? How can I actually come up with a product, or how can I shift my product that people may not need anymore to something that is in demand? So I think that's huge. So everyone has heard the story, of course, of David and Goliath, and we know that David wins. So why do SaaS companies not want to play David in their own market?
Well, because the markets are usually, there are a lot of giants competing in the market, and it's very hard to compete with them. You can always take a look at what they are doing and kind of take notes, but when you can create like a separate niche for you that's not saturated with a lot of like giants who are uh, who already has a great brand name, who already has like a lot of customers and the trust in customers, then you will be competing in a place where there are no many competitors. But at the same time, you will somehow compete with them, but you will compete on your own terms rather than on their own terms.
Yeah, it's. I think it's harder and harder, and the whole Google game. And I know personally, I'm doing a lot of searches for things for remodels in our house right now, and trying to get some construction done. And every search I do on Google, it's Wayfair, Amazon, Build.com. It's all these big companies out there that are front and center. So I think that's huge. Is not to worry so much about them. They're going to have their place in the market, and yes, people are going to shop there, but doing something different, figuring out ways to build up your own credibility and authority, I think is important too, because ultimately people like to buy from people they trust and like. So I think the competing with giants, just try to get that out of your mind, and figure out ways that you can do something different that's really going to relate to people out there, and bring in some of your own personality into what you're doing with your business, because ultimately, again, people buy you. So I think that's a great nugget there. And then moving on to a little bonus nugget. So what do you see that the biggest digital marketing challenges are for agencies right now?
Um, Again, I think it's something based on the competition, that there are a lot of agencies, and every day I see new agencies popping up here and there. And the main challenge here is find something that differentiates from other agencies, find something that can help them just to do more sales, but at the same time not forget about their customers. I think a lot of agencies can really use different automation tools. It can be for content, for client management, and a lot of like automating manual stuff to mainly focus on their client relationships, because no matter what, it stays the most important thing.
That's a great nugget there. Absolutely. And now with 10 Web, give us just a good overview of 10 Web and what you all are doing there. I know you're doing things to appease Google and help people with their websites. So why don't you fill in the audience about some of the things that you're doing at 10 Web, please?
Sure. Basically, 10Web is an automated WordPress platform that helps agencies and freelance developers to get 90 plus page speed score for their clients' websites automatically. You can simply just move your website, your client's website over to 10Web hosting that's powered by Google Cloud. We are officially Google Cloud partner,
Okay.
and you will automatically get 90 plus page speed score. We've developed the technology and that automatically gives you that 90 plus page speed score, so your client will be able to rank high, get more traffic, more conversions, because we've noticed that the attention span, we all know that, is getting lower and lower, and the clients are leaving the websites way sooner, and we saw that problem and found a solution. It wasn't that easy, but we did it.
Yeah, and I would say for those out you that may not understand Google algorithms and what goes on there, I know that page speed of your website this day and age is super important. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. Actually, it is like if your website loads, like if we talk with the data, because we started with the data, if your website loads 3 seconds, for 3 seconds or more, you can lose up to like 47-50% of your customers. Like your client can use that much customers. So you really need to pay attention to your website page speed score and the speed.
Oh yeah, it's super important. And of course, we love to have all these whiz bang graphics on our website and videos that load. So we know how that goes. But I would say that that's huge to realize that people are so on demand. They want it now, that if your website lacks or if you don't get back to them quickly, these types of things do affect your business. So I really appreciate you sharing all these wonderful nuggets. And I hear you have a nice offer for our audience as well, if you want to share that.
Sure. Actually, everyone can just visit 10web.io and try the platform that I was telling about for 14 days for free without any credit card. Just try it yourself and see how it works. I'm sure you will like it, but if anything, you can always reach out to us with our 24/7 live chat, and we will be happy to help you.
Excellent. Is there anything else you want to share with our people that are tuning in today?
I just would like to advise to pay attention to automations, to any automations, just not not promoting just 10Web, just talking about any kind of automation, because it can help their day-to-day job a lot. And just that.
Yeah,
And have a great day.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. And time is our greatest resource. And I know as business owners and even team members, it's very hard to fit everything into a day. So I think the goal there is to automate some of the processes that are that rinse and repeat, things that are going to save people time. So I fully stand behind that. And any way that people can automate or need an automation strategy, definitely reach out to us to help with that as well. So appreciate your time here. Best of luck with everything that you're doing. Thanks for sharing all the wonderful info.
And thanks for having me again. It was a great chat.
Great. Well, we'll keep up with what you got going on over there. And for everyone out there, be sure to share, like, and subscribe for more DMC Marketing Nuggets, and visit dmcmarketingnugget.com to view all our past episodes. Here's to your success.